Good of you to come.
I think I'm gonna run a frost mage with ice blades because I'm using a fire wield. So the build I'm using right now is a firewall build, and it's one of the safest builds you can run for hardcore. So what it is it relies on firewall and the firewall enhancement so that it procs more firewalls when you're doing damage. So it's good for mob clearing. And then what it does is it survives on itself so that you don't have to waste more mana doing anything. It just keeps spawning firewalls. And then what you do then after that is you have ice armor and flame shield to kind of protect you if ever you take damage.
Of course not.
And you just run around and let firewall do its thing.
Years ago, true. But it's clear you have some other reason.
And then the thing is firewall is a snapshot ability, which means like if you put down firewall when someone is vulnerable, firewall's whole damage, even after the vulnerable is gone, will be counted as vulnerable damage. So you do Frost Nova, make him vulnerable, and then you just spam your firewalls.
Tried to come back alive. Not convinced this old one is worth the risk, but perhaps you'll prove me wrong.
Yeah, have a little faith for once, old man.
And yeah, sure. Can you even see it on TikTok? Probably not. Unless... press the R? Makes it full screen. Are you on mouse and keyboard? Yeah, my skill tree is right here. Oh, expand. There you go, brother. I got you. I'm playing on a PlayStation 5 controller. I'm playing on the pro one there that they have. The Edge. Pro Edge controller. So this is what I do for the first. I just do Arc Lash. It doesn't matter what you pick. You can pick whatever you want. And then technically this build is supposed to be sustained off no basic attacks. Like I'm using Arc Lash, but really I'm supposed to be using Teleport instead. And then you use the increment here that does gain 30% damage reduction for 3 seconds. But anyways, for here I use Devastation for just more mana. But I know Potent Warding is just garbage apparently. I just do more mana. I don't do Glass Cannon at all, but you could if you want. And then do Flame Shield, Frost Nova, and I put Ice Armor, and then I do Ice Armor. While Ice Armor is active, your mana regeneration is increased by 25%, and then damage against vulnerable enemies contributes 50% to Ice Armor. You don't need to do this. Probably in the higher tiers, you could kind of take this away and put these skills somewhere else. Skill points. They're nice for now. It just kind of makes your character stocky. And then here I use Precision magic. I use align the elements just for 1. Just to get that 1% damage reduction up to 40%. So like, let's say I haven't fought an elite for a little bit. I'll get that damage reduction up. And then I put 3 points on protection. Using a cooldown grants 30% of your maximum life as a barrier for 2 seconds. It's you know, more survivability. It's pretty good. If you have Frost Nova, are you using Ice Blades at all? It's not Ice Blades I think you need to build. No, it's I think the build is supposed to be Ice Shards. That's the build. So Ice Shards is the build that literally it literally destroys enemies. Like, it's the highest DPS for mages. I haven't used it yet, but I found a build on d4.com. I had Meteor at one point because it was a good thing to have, because you could have Meteor and then have like, if a cast of Meteor hits 3 or more enemies, there's a chance of 30% to additional Meteor to fall for free. It was pretty good. I took it off though. But it was kind of good when you had that, and then you had Meteor's impact immobilizes enemies, so that like you could just continuously do more damage. But I took it off. Did Pyromancy, just to unlock this, so that I could put 3 in Devouring Blaze. You deal 30% increased critical strike damage against burning enemies. If they're immobilized, this bonus is increased to 75%. So if they're burning and you get a crit, you do 75% more crit damage to that enemy, which is nuts. My firewalls automatically immobilize people, so I don't have to worry about it. I do the Crippling Flames to... piracy skills have up to a 15% chance to immobilize enemies. This chance is doubled while healthy. So I have a 30% chance to immobilize enemies with my firewall. I don't even have to worry about using Meteor to immobilize. And then Firewall, I do... Enemies take 25%, obviously. And then I do the 3 seconds after leaving the firewall, they burn. Obviously Inferno, I max that out. And then I kind of play with Fiery Surge a little bit, just to unlock it. And I do the Warmth and the Endless Pyre to deal burning damage to enemies for each second they remain burning, up to 15% for 5 seconds. And then I might start using Etsu's Fury, because Etsu, I have a like a staff or like boots or something that increases Etsu. It does something for Etsu. I gotta check it out. I do Combustion for now, which is okay. It does like 6% extra damage. And then if there's 3 people, it's 12. So sorry, if there's 3 different sources burning that enemy, then it's 12%. It's okay. Etsu's Ferocity is kind of crazy because your fire critical strike damage is increased by 25%, and then your critical strike chance is increased by 5%. And then if you kill an enemy with a critical strike, you get both bonuses for all enemies for 3 seconds. And then I have I think it's right here. Yeah, right here. While both bonuses from Etsu's Ferocity is active, your attack speed is increased by 42%. 42%. That's huge. And I think if I put it on a 2-hander or an amulet, it goes up to like 80%. So it's kind of nuts. Uh,